Hi, Jesse. We're going to go ahead and take a look at your ad, but before I do that, I want to talk about your written rationale here. I think that this is some of the best writing I've ever read regarding the project, and I teach this class a lot. And the reason this is so relevant is because as a designer, you're going to be asked to um, justify your design decisions and describe your conceptual development pretty much through your entire career, whether it be by a creative director, an art director, um, other designers you might be collaborating with, or even if it's a client, client driven. So this is fantastic that you're actually going in and I did look at this. This is talking about elements and principles. So this is an excellent approach that you're describing your work based on the elements and principles of design. That's how it's done exactly. So I was really super pleased to see this. Now keep in mind the importance of describing the elements and principles of design as we move into project two, final project part two, or final project two, which is the written final. You're going to be asked to describe some of the elements and principles you used in your composition. So we talk about things like balance and contrast and alignment, repetition, etc. So for you to get started on this, emphasis, things like that, it's just fantastic. I think this is really great. So thank you very much. Please keep up the great job describing your conceptual development and approach based on your assignments. Thank you. Let's go ahead and jump over to the magazine ad. So I think that the ad is excellent in a lot of ways. Okay, so basically the good news is that you're showing absolute proficiency in all of the requirements for the assignment. Basically meaning you've got the masked image is adjusted beautifully. Background image is adjusted beautifully. Masked image is executed with no indications of the original background, so that masked image is done beautifully. Logo is placed with no distortions. Typography is placed with no distortions, following the recommendations for and requirements for the composition. So excellent work. Now, that is talking about proficiency, technical proficiency. Now, as far as design goes, I want to make a couple of comments. I think they're going to make a lot of sense to you since you talk so much about the background image. I want to talk about the background image as well. In any design project that you're asked to use an imagery in, you have to determine the amount of type and text that is required for the ad. Now, in this particular ad, we don't have the requirements really that I had set forth are a headline, a subhead, and a paragraph of body copy. Do you remember way back in week one and week two when I had been showing you the examples in the course announcements? And that is these examples down, these wonderful examples. And note each one of them has a headline, a subhead, paragraph of body copy, the masked image, the logo, and the contact information. And I want to follow that basic formula here. And the reason I do that is not because I'm trying to make requirements for you in a wanton requirements. The reason I would like to see the ad configured this way is, number one, it reinforces adding. Basically, the only thing we would have to add here is a paragraph of informational copy, which reinforces your typography skills associated with digital imaging. Not only that, but also the way it's going to be accepted in your final student portfolio, should this piece make that cut, and or in a situation where this piece is being reviewed by a professional hiring professional, maybe in a situation where they're looking to hire for your job based on a situation where you would be in an interview showing your portfolio work. So I think that that configuration is the way to go, definitely. Now, is this ad working? Yes. Will this ad get a good grade if you turn it in as it is? Absolutely, it will, because you are meeting you're showing proficiency in all of the objectives, right? But as far as moving into portfolio, my recommendation might be, and think about this, you think about the use of a background image, and how do we decide what's a suitable image? And one of the most important things, backgrounds, the image search process can be quite daunting. Not only that we are looking for high quality, high resolution images, but we're also looking for images that have the ability to hold text. So if I look at this image right here, I'm seeing it could be somewhat problematic because it's really super busy. Now, if you go back, this is a perfect image suitable for text. Look at that beautiful area you can apply text. And all of these are really, when you look at them, they're all images that are really prone to successfully assembling text. in the assignment. This is a little bit different in that they're so busy in the background, it might be a little difficult here to place text. My recommendation is this. I definitely want to see a paragraph of informational copy describing Amethyst Bay and the promotion. So it's going to be difficult to fit that type in here. I prefer you don't just place a box and put the type, a color box and place the type. I'd like to see the type incorporated in with the background image. That leaves us with this situation. To improve the work, my recommendation would be to choose a new background image, something that isn't quite so busy, something that will be a lot easier to accommodate the placement of an informational paragraph of type. Okay, the only other recommendation is this logo. Right now, the logo, you've got a really great point of alignment right here at the baseline of the contact information. Let's pull the logo down and align the baseline of the logo with the baseline of the contact information. I think that'll provide a nice, solid foundational footer for the ad. The other recommendation is to get that informational paragraph in there and then really probably think about maybe a background image change. At this point, I think the most important thing at this point, to me anyways, is that you understand my comments in this critique. So let me know that everything I'm saying makes sense. And then if you want to go ahead and make those changes, please do, and feel free to repost here, or if we move it in next week and you're still working, you want to post it in a general questions area, that would be great. But I would like to see those issues addressed in your final submission, which is coming up pretty darn soon. So hopefully you would be able to get this to me before that, so we have one final checkpoint for the magazine ad. All right, Jessie, I'm sorry. Thank you very much. Really, again, I just want to reiterate how impressive this writing is. So please keep up the great work in that regard. And of course, at this point, the most important thing moving on from this point is to let me know if you have any questions. All right, great job, Jessie. Thank you so much for sharing.